Guys, we're coming to the last little bit of our science lesson over the solar system. If you haven't read for today's lesson, you're reading over the last two planets in our solar system. But before we go over that, can you tell me what the planets are? And can you tell me the names of the planets in order? If you know a nice fun sentence, you can, because my very educated mother just served us nachos. Again, we're paying attention to the letters that are in dark blue because they let us know the first letter of each planet. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out the letter, and I really want you to do this. You call out what the planet is. M is for, V is for, E, home sweet home. M is for, J is for, served is for, the U in us is for, and then N is for. All right, yeah, so we have the planets in order: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. All right, just as a review. All right, so we know Mercury is the closest planet in our solar system to the Earth. Two extremes of temperature, because Mercury is the closest. It's not the hottest. I'll see if some of you can remember which one is the hottest. But because it's close to the planet, it is extremely hot. But it's also extremely cold because it rotates, or it revolves very slowly. So this one side that is facing the sun becomes extremely hot, while the other side becomes extremely cold. So Mercury, yeah, the story of two cities. All right, the hottest planet is, it starts with a V. It's Venus. All right, Earth's twin. Now, it's not Earth's twin. We don't call it Earth's twin because it looks the same. It doesn't. But because it has some similarities in its land formations. All right. And then after Venus comes our home sweet home, planet Earth. Okay, and Earth is the only planet in our solar system that is able to sustain life. Again, this is evidence of a divine program or plan, a plan of our universe, of our solar system, because out of all the planets that we have, only one of them can sustain life, and that's our planet. If it was too close, we would burn up; too far, we'd be too cold. That's why the scientists like to say that we're in the Goldilocks spot. It's not too hot, not too cold, it's just right. All right, then after Earth comes the planet of Mars. Okay, Mars is known as the red planet, but it's also the smallest planet. All right, and then last time we were together, we went over Jupiter, the largest. Okay, still didn't color mine. I'll have it colored next time I see you. But Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. And then we have the planet that has rings around it. What is it called? It's called Saturn. All right, and then we're coming to the two planets that you'll read about today if you haven't already. The first one is, well, here, you tell me what it is. Its name begins with a U. Uranus, right. Uranus, all right. When I color it, it will be blue, and it does have a ring. Okay, very different. When I was in grade school, we didn't learn that it had rings, but I guess because of the Hubble telescope and being able to get better pictures, they've been able to see that now that we can get better images. But Uranus is the other ringed planet. All right, now when it comes to distances from the sun, we're not talking about miles or millions of miles. We're talking about billions. Uranus is 1.799 billion miles away from the sun. And talking about billions, it's even hard to even think about that number, but that's how far it is. The length of its orbit. If you lived on Uranus, you probably would only have one birthday, okay? Because it takes 84 years for it to go around the sun. Oh my goodness, that's a long orbit. Its diameter is 31,518 miles. Okay, not an especially large planet. And this planet is extremely cold, and it's known as the ice giant. Okay. All right, and the history of its name, Uranus, comes from the name for the Lord of the Skies. All right, so Uranus. All right, and then the very last planet that we have in our solar system is my very educated mother just served us in for nachos. What's the name of it? Yeah, Neptune. All right, Neptune, the last one in line. All right, let me get my paper up for you. Last one in line. Okay, again, when we start talking about distances away from the sun, we're talking about billions of miles now. It's 2.8 billion miles away from the sun. I just to think about what we've been able to do to see 2.8 billion miles away just blows my mind. And I mean, that's just incredible. If you lived on Neptune, if you were a human, a typical human, you probably wouldn't get to see a birthday because if you look at the length of the orbit, and remember that's the time that it takes for Neptune to go all the way around the sun. It takes 165 years. I mean, that is a long time. Its diameter very similar to Uranus. It's 30,599 miles. And for its climate, it has very strong winds reaching 1,200 miles per hour. That's about 10 times as fast as most cars, the average car can go. Because if you look on the speedometer in your parents' car, it probably goes up to 100, maybe 120, I think. Not that I'm sure your parents ever go that fast, but the winds go 10 times that speed. And Neptune is the planet is named after the god of water and sea. All right, so those are our planets that we have in our solar system. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. All of those are part of our little community in space. All right, but there's one other thing that I wanted to mention. And Molly, yesterday in the comments, you said tonight is going to be a super moon. And I don't know, I think I missed it because by the time I saw the message, it was already starting to get dark. But I'm going to check in a little bit because, well, I like seeing a super moon. Well, the moon, you'll see that you have a card in there for your moon. If you have it with you, go ahead and take it out. If you don't, pause the video and then go grab it. But the moon, I want us to go ahead and write down the facts for it as well. All right, the moon is our light by night. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. Let me get this on the camera. Our light by night. All right, as far as from Earth, the moon is a distance of 238,900 miles. And after talking about Uranus and Neptune, that's nothing. That's like a hop, skip, and a jump. All right, but that's how far it is from Earth. The moon orbits Earth, okay? So we have the moon circling around our planet every 27 days. So that's about every month. Okay, it takes about a month for it to go around us. Its diameter is 2,159 miles. And compared to, let me see if I can grab Earth real quick. Let's see. Our planet has a diameter of 7,928 miles. So about 8,000 miles. Okay, so the moon is about a quarter of the size. And then for the climate, guess what? There is no atmosphere, so there's no climate. In other words, there's nothing surrounding the moon that's able to keep in any heat or anything like that. It's just cold. I mean, you're exposed to the elements in outer space when you're on the moon. All right, and then some other questions. There was a question at the bottom. How much of the moon can you see at one time? All right, you probably notice that as the month goes on, you can see a little slither and then maybe a little bit more and a little bit more until you have a full moon. We can, at its best, we can see about 59% of the moon. Okay, so on that blank, you can put about 59%. Why is it that we can only see 59%? Well, think about it. The moon, we can only see one side at a time. The moon always has one part of it facing the earth, and then the other side is facing the other way. Sometimes it's facing the sun, sometimes it's just facing out into the outer space. So we can see about 59% at one time, and this because it's a circle, so you can only see one half of it. I'm sorry, a sphere. You can only see one half of it at a time. All right, so go ahead and fill that out here, just in case you didn't get the sentence. All right, so 59%, and one side is always facing Earth, and the other side facing away. All right, and then there's one more piece in your solar system fan, and it's the title, okay? All right, so what I like for you to do, you can go ahead and color in the words, planet, sun, and moon, and then, of course, you want to put your name at the bottom. If you'd like, you can color in the box, things of that sort. All right, so you make sure that you go ahead and get that done, and then I think it's on Thursday. I have you watching the very last bit of that our solar system video, where I want you to collect some good, interesting facts for Uranus and Neptune. All right, okay, and then if you're done with that, if you want to, you can actually go ahead and start cutting out each of the planet parts. Okay, you would cut along the rectangle, come up and around, cut around the planet, and then back down again. Okay, you can do that for each part, and then this one as well. And then later on, I'll show you how it all goes together. It's really easy, but I'll make sure that I show you mine. All right? Okay, all right, until later, I'll see you guys.